I got a mouthful of pizza. Sorry, chat. We got a violent tornado on the ground here, approaching none other than the Greensburg, Kansas. This is a thunderstorm that is currently and actively producing. Lucky, if you do play it, just let me know. Actively producing a violent tornado. That way I can mute the thing. So this is a strong tornado on the ground now. Likely a violent tornado ongoing. It is a huge tornado. I waited one more scan, and seeing that inflow increase was enough for me to come right back on here. So we are live again. This is a PDS for freaking Greensburg, Kansas. Holy crap. This is a PDS tornado warning for Greensburg, Kansas. That is insane. I want to just go back for the few scans we missed. So after we headed off, these storms that were supposed to be the mergers intensified. The southernmost got a cell merger and instantly began to rapidly intensify. Dropped down a tornado approximately 15 minutes ago. And it intensified further, weakened on one of the scans. And that was a scan I thought, okay, maybe it was going to lift. Next scan it intensified, and here we are now. Newest scan that is still likely a intense to violent tornado with, Lord have mercy, what is that? I think that is about 170 mile an hour rotation right there. So about 170 mile an hour rotation on that newest scan there for a tornado that is now ongoing, a likely violent tornado. Heading towards the city of Greensburg, Kansas. Just absolutely insane how fast this thing developed. Very, very rapidly developed, and is an ongoing tornado. So please be in your safe spot, Greensburg, Kansas. This is a PDS tornado warning, meaning it is a life-threatening situation. A large and extremely dangerous tornado has been observed based off of radar. And is still on the ground heading right for Greensburg. Newest scan, it is still on the ground, albeit a bit weaker, still at 130 mile an hour rotation there. So still a strong tornado on the ground, just slightly weaker. Alright, I gotta go up here. I have to make sure everything's good with the stream, because I did not get the chance to set up everything. We just went live right away. So whilst we wait for the next scan, that's what I'm going to do. Again, this is a tornado, a strong tornado approaching the city of Greensburg, Kansas, the town of Greensburg, Kansas. Pretty populated area. Pretty populated area. Give me just a moment. I spelled urgent wrong. I don't know why, but Radar Mega's sirens are going off here. That's a tornado warning for the northern side, just north, actually, of Dallas. That's for Frisco, Texas.
Tornado warning for East Central Denton County in North Central Texas, Western Collin County in North Central Texas, Collin and Denton County in Texas.
Wow. Alright, I do think that is beginning to lift now. But this will try to recycle. Let's go to the Dallas radar site. Caden, you are inside of this tornado warning. So the southern storm died off, and that allowed for a lot less clustery mode here. And thus we actually saw a discrete storm form out of it. And now we have a discrete storm capable of producing a strong tornado going right into the city of Frisco, Texas. Now that is a very populated area. Very, very populated city there. That is a city for sure. Back out here for Greensburg, Kansas. You can see the debris signature still present. If we go to our PTDS, see it's right there. So probability of debris is 100%. And this may have lofted debris as high as 17,000 feet up. Let's check the track. So this is where it has been on the ground so far. So it started down here. And you can see a lot of this is just open fields. I don't really see a lot of population out here. But it is going to get more populated as it heads into Greensburg. And that is in Kansas once again. Yeah, so that's for 1,800 people. All right, I believe this is lifted, but it's likely going to try again. Very likely going to try again. Got to keep a very close eye on this storm in Texas. Currently over a little lake here west of Frisco, Texas. That's trying to produce a strong tornado. Okay, and just get to your safe spot. There's a pretty good chance it does not produce a tornado, but it is a pretty good area of rotation. It's staying broad at the moment. It's staying pretty broad. So you're on like probably the east side of Frisco over here. I mean, it's definitely going to head towards you. This is going to try to recycle, and it's going to try to recycle right near or over the town of Greensburg, Kansas. Special mesoscale discussion issued on this supercell for Greensburg, Kansas. The potential for a strong to violent tornado to go around the Greensburg, Kansas area is possible. Chaser just confirmed a large wedge tornado about 7 minutes ago southwest of Greensburg, Kansas. But I have a pretty good feeling it's probably lifted now based off of those newest velocity signatures. But I'm telling you, this is going to try to recycle nearly instantly. It is going to try to recycle nearly instantly, and it's going to go very close to Greensburg, Kansas. Now, with it recycling, there's a chance that allows the direction of it to shift. We've seen that multiple times with these, with just supercells in general. When they recycle, sometimes they can shift north, west, east, south, whichever direction. The old tornado was heading literally right for near, like straight through Greensburg, Kansas. I mean, it was on track to go almost completely right through Greensburg, Kansas there. Depending on where the new one is, it may be a little bit east of that, maybe potentially staying east of Greensburg, or it may be pretty much in the same spot with the same trajectory. Either way, this is going to be a very close call to Greensburg, Kansas, taking a direct hit. And that is probably back on the ground. We'll wait for a velocity scan in 20 seconds. In the meantime, let's go to Dallas. So just north of Dallas out here, going into Frisco, Texas, there's a large area of rotation. It's currently pretty weak and pretty broad, but could intensify and attempt to drop a tornado in about the next 30 minutes or so. All right, new scan coming in right now. Very difficult to tell. Really, really difficult to tell. If that is on the ground or not. Lucky, I don't know if you want to wait at all. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. Because I know you've had a long day.
I have. Guys, I didn't even chase, and I drove 3 hours today.
So I don't know if you want to leave or stay here for... It's probably going to be a while.
Oh, like over an hour?
Probably very close to.
45 minutes? Longer?
I can't predict how long a tornado stays on the ground, Lucky.
I can.
All right, then tell me, how long is this thing going to track?
All right, you gotta give me like 1 minute so I can look at meso analysis too.
Mm-hmm. He going to see it and be like, okay.
All right, right, let's see. After further review, let's see. I'm going to bed. That is some crazy environment. You have SRH values 0 to 1 kilometer, 430, and 0 to 3, 630. So, yeah, you know what? I'm going to bed, chat.
That's
I love y'all,
that's a wise idea.
but I had a long day. TG, I will call you as soon as I get out of school tomorrow. Any day so far within this week that looks worthy of chasing at all? I'm just like, is there any severe weather?
Wednesday maybe, but I don't know.
Well, chat, I work.
No,
There's
yeah.
nothing,
It would be
there's
Wednesday if any day.
dude. Now that I'm looking at this storm, though, I do want to say it. Now that I'm looking at this storm, bro, just from like what I've seen already now, because I saw in Eastern NC, if this was daytime, this would be like the storm that's like photogenic. Like, oh, did you get that new scan?
I got the new reflectivity scan.
Yeah.
All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Have a good night. Chat, I love y'all. I would stay, but I've had a very long day. Me open chat, see who's talking smack about me. Alright, anyways. Let's see. Yeah, I love y'all.
Lord
And
have
obviously,
mercy.
yeah. And
Yeah,
obviously,
yikes, jump scare and a half.
yeah. Y'all have a good night.
Before you go, I got to show you the wedge in Kansas earlier. The one in Texas was probably double this size.
Bro.
Dodge City just tweeted it. Dodge City themselves, the National Weather Service, just tweeted a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located 10 miles southeast of Mullinville, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. Locations in the storm's path is Greensburg. Those in or near Greensburg area should seek shelter immediately. All right, see you later, brother.
See you later, brother.
So yeah, this I'm pretty sure that's probably debris on the that's probably a tornado on the ground, lofting debris. Hard to say for sure though. The one for Frisco, Texas is still staying pretty broad. I don't think I want to see this next scan, y'all. This could actually be a violent tornado about to go right through Greensburg. I know it's all going through our heads right now, and it is possible we get that exact scenario. We're all thinking about it, and we're all looking at this radar imagery, and we're all thinking the same thing. We're all thinking the exact same thing here. Lord have mercy, that is insane. Hopefully it goes to the east. I think it is on track to stay east. If we follow where it started and where it's heading, it should stay east of like right in the middle of Greensburg. I think it's going to stay to the east. We're going to watch it extremely close here. So currently the tornado that is on the ground, it is back on the ground. If it ever lifted, it is back on the ground. It is currently located about 5.8 miles to the south of Greensburg, Kansas. This is a violent tornado on the ground south of Greensburg, Kansas right now. It's now located about 5 miles to the south of Greensburg, Kansas. Its current trajectory puts it to the east-southeast side of Greensburg, Kansas in about 7 to 8 minutes, right around there. If this does not shift, it will be a very close call. It will be an extremely, extremely close call. So please be in your safe spot, Greensburg, Kansas. This is a violent tornado about to head right into Greensburg, Kansas. If it does miss Greensburg, it is going to be just barely at or under a mile to their east. Meaning it will be very close to like the Cannonball Golf Course. This is now a tornado emergency for the city of Greensburg, Kansas. This is now a tornado emergency, a catastrophic situation for the city of Greensburg, Kansas. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. This is a tornado emergency. Lucky, it's a Tory. It's a Tory.
I know. You know what? I think I might want to stay
Wait,
just for a
hold
little
on.
bit.
Tornado warning
It's
for
saying it now.
northeastern Kiowa County in south central Kansas, Kiowa County in Kansas.
This is a tornado emergency for the city of Greensburg, Kansas.
Dude.
I
Alright, so
cannot believe my eyes.
I'm gonna do my job and be in the background still. And yes, I got out of bed for this. I saw it, but I'm gonna do my job and see if I can find any pictures or anything.
Wow. Tornado emergency has just been pulled for Greensburg, Kansas for
I
a
got it.
violent
Got one.
tornado. That
Let me add you.
fast? Yeah.
Yep. At you. Okay. And you know this person, I would hope.
Let's see what we have here. Wow. Yep. That is definitely a intense stovepipe. That is definitely an intense stovepipe there. And that is approaching the town of Greensburg, Kansas. Are they live? They are live. But they are behind the storm. But I mean, they're still going to be able to see it.
Hey, did you see this though? Hold up. Not related to this storm.
Well, keep
But
everything related to this storm.
okay. Well,
There's a high chance if you saw it, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen that multiple times.
okay. Because that is just.
I think the velocity is weakening quite a lot here. It is weakening quite a lot, it looks like. So we're going to keep a very, very close eye on this storm. Please be in your safe spot. This is a tornado emergency. This is from the National Weather Service in Dodge City themselves. A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was observed near Greensburg, Kansas, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. This is a tornado emergency for Greensburg. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. Wow. So it is likely still on the ground. It is on North Road near 29 Avenue and 31 Avenue, just off of Highway 183, moving to the northeast at about 30 miles per hour. Again, that will put it very, very close to areas like the Cannonball Golf Course on the east side of Greensburg, Kansas. If it doesn't shift, it's going to head into the eastern side of Greensburg, Kansas. I'm thinking it will stay barely on the eastern side of Greensburg, Kansas. So again, this is a tornado emergency for Greensburg, Kansas, for a violent tornado that is on the ground right now, just I mean, gracious. It's literally just 2 miles to the south of Greensburg, Kansas right now. Just 2 miles to your south. So there's your tornado emergency in place. See that strong area of rotation still there. I do believe it looks significantly weaker, but there's a chance that it could stay at violent status here. 2 minutes ago, an observed large and extremely dangerous tornado from a storm chaser. 2 minutes ago. So this is still a large, violent tornado about to move into the eastern side of Greensburg, Kansas. And this thing is likely a wedge tornado. It's likely larger now than what it was before when I first saw it on a Storm Chaser's feed. So this is likely an even larger tornado. So if we switch over to CC, you can see there is now it's strengthening right back up. That's what I thought. Yep. I knew it. I freaking knew it. This has, oh my goodness. Lucky.
Yes, sir.
If this is not corrupted, this is 210 mile an hour velocities. 210. Really? If this is not corrupted, it is 210.
And how far are we from the radar already? That's still 2,700 feet. That is still surface.
That is still very low, yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy. That's probably where like your that's probably like where your meso would be, right? If it's rotating that much at that high, what is it doing at the surface? Like on the ground, basically.
The debris signature looks like it's going to stay well to the east of Greensburg. So it is currently directly where I said it would be. It is over 31 Avenue right now. Now over 33 Avenue. The intersection there between Main Road and 33 Avenue to the southeast of Kansas, Greensburg, Kansas. 3 miles now to your southeast. It still looks like it's going to stay to the southeast to me. However, this thing may be so large that it could still hit the southeast side of Greensburg, Kansas. The CC is only on the southeast side of that velocity couplet. So there's a chance that it's just the only reason why the CC is picking up on that side is because the tornado is hitting something on that side. It could be, let me show you velocities here. It could be as large as this. It could be that large in terms of a tornado. I mean, it could be extremely, extremely large. We're talking about as large as a mile. So it could be an extremely large tornado. It is a deadly tornado. And it is still being observed by chasers. It is still being observed as a large, deadly tornado. So again, that's Greensburg, literally right there. That is Greensburg, Kansas, right there. This tornado is located just a couple roads down from Greensburg. I mean, we are literally talking about a tornado 1 mile away from Greensburg. A violent tornado 1 mile away from Greensburg right now. I still believe this will miss Greensburg. I still believe this will miss Greensburg, but it is going to be extremely, extremely close. So again, if you're just now tuning in, this is a tornado emergency for catastrophic damage that is expected with an observed violent tornado moving just a mile or so to the southeast of Greensburg, Kansas. They have continued the tornado emergency. It is still a tornado emergency, still observed tornado with catastrophic damage barely to the southeast of Greensburg in Kansas. This will hit homes in about 5 minutes. If it is not already hitting houses, It will be in about 5 minutes. I will try to clear up all this so I can see exactly where this is located. So it's still over a field.
KG,
Yep.
you getting word now that from when I first showed you, it was like a big stovepipe. I got reports that it's now a large wedge.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring.
Yeah, I'm gonna add you in it too. Hold on. Well, I just got it on my phone, so this is gonna be off my other account, but I'm still gonna add you.
So this is going to be likely this is going to cross just east of Greensburg. It's likely going to cross Highway 54 in around 5 minutes. It looks like it's going to stay to your east. Let's go see what Lucky sent me. Wow. Yeah, that is definitely a wedge tornado. Definitely a wedge tornado. So still you can see the velocity couplet there. Still a debris signature, so there is still a likely violent tornado on the ground. Barely to the east of Greensburg in Kansas.
Did you see the population in the morning?
I mean, I think it was around 5,000.
Oh, this one that was released 1 minute ago, 2 minutes ago.
Oh, I didn't see that.
1,469.
Okay.
Four schools and one hospital.
Caden, it looks like the storm overuse died out, but it is capable of producing 80 mile-an-hour winds. Velocity signature looks the weakest it has looked. It looks extremely weak. However, this will likely recycle. If it is lifting right now, or if it does lift, it will likely recycle barely east of Greensburg, Kansas again. So still a large tornado on the ground, still a tornado emergency in place for this storm. I don't believe it's going to occlude into Greensburg. It's likely either going to die out just to the south of Highway 54, or it's going to stay on the ground for a while longer, one or the other. So you can see this arrow, it's going to take it right towards Highway 54, likely east of Greensburg. It should be east of Greensburg. So now this is located approximately from town limits 2 miles to your east. 2 miles east of Greensburg. So we're going to continue to watch this. Again, tornado still on the ground, still a debris signature. So that first arrow you see, the one I drew is the more accurate arrow. The one you see in red, that's for the actual tornado warning and its storm mode, or storm motion, rather. Likely dissipated, but it could recycle very, very quickly. I mean, it could recycle just a minute or two after it's dissipated. So this could recycle like right over the Brenham area, right over Highway 54. But right now, velocities are the weakest it has been. It's still likely on the ground, and it will likely try to intensify here over the next few scans. Something to also note, is it does have a cell merge coming into the southern flank of this supercell. So that will likely, in the short term, in about 15 minutes, that will likely hurt the supercell. But after around those 15 minutes, it will likely increase this tornado's potential yet again. So again,
Crazy.
yep, go ahead.
I for sure now I'm gonna go to bed. I can't even keep my eyes open.
All right, see you later.
All right, see you later, chat. Love you, Georgie. See you later, brother.
See you later, brother. All right, let's go back to velocity. Yeah, you can see this is going to recycle very, very quickly. It is going to try to recycle very quickly and drop a tornado at any given second again. And then it does indeed have this merger from the south. This merger is going to hit it from the south and attempt to increase the tornado threat with it. All right, let's see that new scan. I don't know if that is the new velocity there. But it's still about to be, or still is, on the ground. And again, this is going to be crossing Highway 54 right now. Crossing Highway 54 right now, east of Greensburg, Kansas. So that's where your tornado is now located. If we go ahead and just zoom out a little bit, get rid of that. So it's located right in this area. I did not know alerts were turned on there. So it's located right in this area, moving to the northeast. Still going to continue. And is still likely producing a tornado. Trying to see if I can get any more information for y'all. All right. See that new scan. Okay, this has been downgraded to a normal PDS tornado warning. So no longer a tornado emergency in effect. As it's now past Greensburg, Kansas. So still a large couplet. Still relatively on the weaker side of things. There may be a strengthening area of rotation over Frisco, Texas. Right now, the terminal radar site says it's not strengthening much, but the main radar site says it is. So likely what it is it's stronger rotation, a little bit upper, a little bit higher up in the atmosphere, but is yet to make it down closer to the surface. So that storm in Frisco, Texas is still capable of producing a tornado, and it should increase in that opportunity. Wow. 0ZH Triple R. I didn't even get to see the full run for Tuesday. It looks crazy on Like the last frame for Tuesday. Alright, so still a PDS tornado warning. 2 PDS warnings in effect for this one storm. It is about to be hit by a cell merge. So it will likely fall apart for a couple of minutes. Oh, there's actually an area of rotation on the cell merger. Look at that. The cell merger actually has an area of rotation. So that actually could try to also ramp up in rotation, as it is cell merging with our main storm. So still a classic hook echo, very, very large supercell, classic supercell. Just barely outside of Greensburg, Kansas now. Still very, very capable of producing a large tornado, and likely is capable, or rather, likely is producing a large tornado still. It's kind of fluctuated in intensity, but that intensity has returned. It's back up to likely a strong tornado. So this is most likely a strong tornado now just to the north of Highway 54. Just barely north of Highway 54. About 6 miles east of Greensburg, Kansas. I believe it's moving into more rural areas now. Let me see. I gotta see if it's moving into more rural regions. Yeah, it's mainly over fields now. There's very little debris to hit out here. I do see a house or two. That's on the ground. That is on the ground.
Warning for Eastern Kiowa County in south central Kansas, west central Pratt County in south central Kansas, Kiowa, and Pratt County in Kansas.
So that's a tornado on the ground south of Greensburg. South of Greensburg in Kansas. New tornado on the ground. That will stay away from Greensburg. Greensburg, you are in that tornado warning, but I believe the tornado will stay away from you. It should stay off to your east. Newest scan here. Actually, that's not the newest scan just yet. Go back to our analysis radar. So this will get the new scan here in 10 seconds. So currently this tornado is located, wow, that is, look at this new scan. That is likely back to a violent tornado. That just really ramped up again. So now back to a violent tornado here. Strengthened back up to violent status. Just to the north of Highway 54. This is approximately... Let's see. This is approximately 7 miles east-northeast of Greensburg, Kansas. It is moving to the northeast at about 30 miles per hour. So it's still staying over relatively rural regions, currently over a field. Unfortunately, it looks like there may be a house. Wow. There's a house right under this couplet. There's the house. That house is likely being directly hit by a violent tornado. Oh my goodness. So hopefully they are in their safe spot. It is likely on the ground. It is definitely on the ground. There is no way it has that strong of a couplet and is not on the ground. So it just went very close to that house. I don't know if it went over that house or not, but it went extremely, extremely close to that house. Trying to see if I can get you guys any more information here. It is obviously nighttime, so it's much more difficult to see this storm. Okay, so now the tornado has passed that house and is now going over at least one other home. There's another home right in this area here. There's another house in that area. And the tornado is likely getting a very, very close call to that home. Oh my goodness. Yeah, again, a very, very close call. So it's still moving northeast, which puts it right over this area. So it just tracked through that general area over the last 2 minutes, possibly hitting the side of that house or farmland, likely a home there on the intersection of those two roads. Yeah, that's still up to about 160 mile an hour rotation there. The southern one has completely fallen apart. Fully fallen apart there. So it's still continuing to the east, northeast, slightly more east than what it was originally moving. It has changed its trajectory thanks to that cell merge. It has changed its trajectory there to more east moving, so it's going to be a very close call for this town and Wellsford. Very close call for both of you, but I think it will stay to y'all's north. It was moving nearly dead northeast like this, but now it's taking more of this trajectory. It's moving slightly more east now. And that's due to this cell merge from the south. Let's go back to this here. Yep, still likely a tornado on the ground here. Still a PDS tornado warning. Likely still a tornado on the ground in this area. Let me get you an approximation once again. So that is approximately 8 miles, about 8 miles to the northeast of Greensburg, Kansas. Just about 6 miles to the northwest of Wellsford, Kansas. And it is still moving east to northeast, so it's very close to hitting this town. Really, really close to hitting a town. I think it will stay barely off to their north, but it has moved more to the east now. Wow. So we're going to continue to watch this tornado as it tracks off to the north. It is, ooh, definitely just hit something there. Yeah, that debris got quite a bit bigger. Let's see if I can find out what it may have hit right now, or just a minute ago. Looks like it came extremely close to, or went right. Oh, looks like it went right over possibly another house here. So if we go back to our analysis radar, back over to this storm, if I take this radar off here, there was a house right here. There's a home. And if we back it up, that's literally, you can see the decrease in pixels right there, right over the house, because that's right where the tornado was. So that house either took a direct hit or barely got hit, one or the other. And considering there is quite a good amount of debris on that next scan, it likely hit that home, directly hit that home. That's a lot of debris being lofted there on the newest scan. It likely hit that house or barely hit it. Southern storm still staying weak. I'm surprised this is this first tornado has stayed alive for so long, even with getting the cell merge. Yeah, this thing is absolutely huge. You can see a huge tornado vortex hole here, rain wrapping around it. The lack of, just a little lack of higher DBZ values right in here. And that correlates nearly perfectly with correlation coefficient. So this is a very, very violent tornado, likely winds exceeding 160 miles per hour. It is currently heading towards the direction of Hopewell, Byers, Pratt, and Luca. It will likely undergo a significant cell merge here. It's being hit by that cell merge right now, and it's not weakening. All right, they've continued that PDS tornado warning downstream. So if we go just with the middle of where that warning is, this is the tornado's trajectory right here.
Northeastern Kiowa County in south-central Kansas, southeastern Edwards County in south-central Kansas, northwestern Pratt County in south-central Kansas, Edwards, Kiowa, and Pratt County in Kansas.
So that's its general trajectory, is off to the northeast, just like this. That's its general trajectory right now. It easily can shift again. Very, very easily can shift again.
Tornado warning for central Collin County in north-central Texas, Collin County in Texas.
Yeah, so that's the storm. Now going over McKinney. Not a lot of rotation. Very weak with that. So just be in your safe spot if you're in that warning. We're going to stay with this one as it's actively producing a likely violent tornado.
Tornado warning for east central DeSoto County in northwestern Mississippi,
The heck?
DeSoto County in Mississippi.
Mississippi. Didn't expect to see you today. So area of rotation there over Hernando, Mississippi. That's northwest Mississippi right there. Has a CC drop, really? What? No, it doesn't. Unless my radars are off. I'll take my analysis radar down there real quick. Clear air, 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 no CC, clear air. No, it never had a CC, buddy. Never had a CC. So still a strong tornado on the ground. New PDS warning continuing there for Hopewell, Byers, Colson, Wellsford, in south central Kansas. It did not have a CC drop 5 minutes ago. This is clear air. This is 5 minutes ago, both of these scans. So this was about 7 minutes ago. This was about 5 minutes ago. It's not slightly displaced from the rotation. It is clearly in the clear slot. If we go to probability of debris, it is no chance. There's no chance. I'm on the product right now. Nothing. It was clear air, dude. Let's go back to Kansas. Still likely an intense tornado on the ground here. Possibly weakening. But this has gone through already multiple cycles of dying out a little bit, recycling, weakening, fully re-strengthening, weakening, fully re-strengthening, and now it's starting to weaken a little bit. It could very quickly ramp right back up and re-strengthen. Alright, so this storm's likely not done at all. It is still in a very volatile environment. It is in the best environment currently in place across the U.S. There is no environment across the U.S. like what this storm is in. Now that it is still very much past that, little area of Lesser Cape towards the surface, this storm's going to continue to try and rotate and produce multiple intense tornadoes. We'll see what the cell merch does for it. That's the biggest question in all this. That is the big question in all of this. Sorry, I'm trying to check something really quick. Okay. Yeah, so that is the weakest I have seen it so far. That is the weakest I've seen it so far. Ever since it planted a tornado back there south of Greensburg, Kansas. We shall see what it does. I think that's corruption on the northwest side of it. I would not bet on that being an actual area of rotation there. Well, it strengthened right back up. See, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. It literally, that's what it's been doing this whole time. Weakens for a scan or two, and then instantly strengthens right back up. So this is heading right towards Hopewell and Byers. If it stays on its current trajectory, it should go maybe in between both of them. I mean, that's its new current trajectory, and I mean that puts it in between both areas. And it's still at a very strong area of rotation. Go back to this radar site again. So no new sign of like a new mesocyclone or anything forming out of this area. There is a little region here. There's a little region of rotation and a little LP hook starting up on this storm. But it doesn't look imminent right now. For now as well. And then this is your original supercell. If we go ahead and just draw it all out. So this is where your original supercell is. Right in here. So your little hook is embedded down in this area. What was a little hook echo, and now it's just a full rain-wrapped wedge tornado. So it's about to go right towards the Pratt Sandhills State Wildlife Management Area in south central Kansas. Just to give you another idea of where that is. That is where the tornado is located, just about 17 miles northwest of Pratt in south central Kansas. That puts it about 15 miles northeast of Greensburg, Kansas. We're going to go back to our analysis radar again because it gets quicker scans here. Get it in about 15 seconds or so. All right, I'm going to go back to this software so I can tell you where this thing is still located. So that newest couplet, it has shrunk for that newest scan, but it is still very, very tight. So it's right barely east of Road 55, very, very close to Road 55 here. Which that is approximately about 14 and a half miles northeast of Greensburg, Kansas. And the storm is moving to the northeast. I have no idea what's going to happen with this cell merge. I wouldn't rule out a completely new area of rotation trying to develop somewhere on the southern side, northwest of Pratt. I would not rule that out at all. Still a CC drop, still a likely strong tornado on the ground. I don't think it's violent anymore, and it may not even be intense, but it is still a strong tornado ongoing here, which is just to the southwest of Hopewell in Kansas. So on that newest scan, just to keep giving you an update on its location here, that puts it about 7.5 miles to the southwest of Hopewell, Kansas, moving to the northeast. So if this doesn't change trajectory, like I said before, it's going to be very close between Hopewell and Byers in south central Kansas. but there's a very high chance it's going to shift around and fluctuate in intensity. So, once again, tornado likely beginning to weaken again on this storm. Still gate to gate, still a strong area of rotation. It is just weakening. We're going to keep an eye on the southern edge for any new hooks. I don't see any obvious hooks right now. It's likely still going to be a little bit before we get any very obvious hooks, but one of these little lower precipitation areas could easily turn into a hook echo in the future. But actively, a tornado is still on the ground in this area here. Likely very close to, if not lifted now. That is likely extremely close to lifting. We'll see what it shows next scan, but I'm getting more confident that that is starting to lift. So again, we're also going to just watch the southern edge too, near Wellsford and Colson in south central Kansas to see if this tornado can try to redevelop. No tornado warning active in McKinney, Texas. So if you were in that tornado warning in McKinney, Texas, it has been canceled. And you can come out of your safe spot. Still stay away from doors and windows due to the high amount of lightning activity with that storm. Still a tornado warning in effect for just south of Lewisburg in far northwest Mississippi. And then, of course, the tornado warning you're looking at right now. So no longer any areas of organized rotation. It is fully gone. No longer any areas of rotation here. So everything's weak. Again, going to watch the southern edge of this storm to try to produce a new area of rotation. If it does try to produce a new area of rotation after that cell merge, it should be within the new, within the next 20 to 25 minutes. Within the next 20 to 25 minutes here. The new HRRR has nothing happening out of this area. It doesn't even have this storm occurring. It doesn't even have it here. Yeah, I would be watching this area in Wellsford. It looks like that is trying to ramp up a little bit. PDS warning still remains in effect for 22 minutes. That will be downgraded within that 22-minute time frame. Either in the sense of a new warning being downgraded or the existing warning being downgraded. So that's going to be the next area to watch. That is just crazy. I still can't believe that just happened. Greensburg, Kansas got in another tornado emergency. Can you imagine that? Wow. Now it is fully occluded. You can see the process there. So that's when it first touched down way off to the southwest of Greensburg. They issued a new PDS warning. Right there. When they issued that new PDS warning, that is when we went live. Right as they issued that for Greensburg, Kansas, we went live. That tornado occluded. And a new one, much larger, much more violent spawn. They issued that tornado emergency. Likely tracked quite a ways to the east of Greensburg by about 2-3 miles east of Greensburg, Kansas. Re-intensified after it passed Highway 57, I believe. I believe that's the highway number there. Highway 54. Highway 54. So right as it passed north of Highway 54 there. I mean, it went right over the highway. Re-strengthened. And then started to die out. Re-strengthened again. Started to die out. Re-strengthened again. And then now it's fully died out. Bit of a weird spot for the new area of potential rotation to form. But you can tell that this is the cell merge right in here. This is actually part of the cell merge. So this is your storm that prompted the tornado emergency for Greensburg, Kansas there. And the one south of that I just highlighted here, that is your cell merge. And that's probably going to be the one that tries to really ramp up. And once it does, it's going to be attempting to drop a tornado very close to probably Colson, Byers, Luca, maybe even as far south as near Pratt. But no clear-cut area of rotation developed just yet. Getting reports of multiple train carts tossed. They were tossed east of Greensburg, Kansas. Multiple train cars tossed from the violent tornado. See if I can find any other information here. As I see it, I will relay it to you guys and let you know. A little bit less messy on the HRRR. What you mean a little bit less messy? That is completely less messy. Still a bit messy, but not even close to what the 0Z had. Wow. Hopefully that is not the case. They've maintained a PDS warning here. Yep, they've kept a PDS warning in effect for the next 18 minutes. I actually thought they were going to downgrade that. Quite surprised they kept it. But this is going to try to drop another tornado here, likely right next to Colson. That just might be the start of it trying to drop right there. So this is still your cell merge out here over Colson right now. So that's your cell merge right there. And this hook is part of your cell merger. that is formed just to the west of Coulson. And that might be actively attempting to drop a tornado. That is definitely in the clear slot, though. That is for sure those velocities. It didn't look like it before, but on this newest scan, it looks like it's in the clear slot. So, I don't believe there's anything on the ground at the moment, but that likely is trying to ramp back up. All right. So again, we're going to keep watching this supercell capable of producing another tornado here. Probably going to take a while before it can really get its act back together. And it will likely do that closer to Luca, closer to Pratt, when it really starts to get its act back together here. If it can, if it even can. We'll see if it's able to. Alright, I believe this is back down to a radar indicated warning. Still PDS on here, but I can confirm that from weatherwise. Yep, still or rather now a radar indicated warning, so no longer PDS. That's what I was expecting to do the first time they updated the warning. I was expecting them to drop the tag, but they took just a little bit longer to do that, probably just to make sure that it has occluded. Yeah, so this is another large area rotation trying to get its act together here. Another cell merge, though. I believe that is a separate cell merger. You can see it intensify right over Coulson. So likely this hook echo was going to produce a tornado imminently, pretty soon, but thanks to this cell merge, it might take a bit longer. So this radar indicated warning is in effect for 13 more minutes. We're going to continue to monitor this very, very closely. It's definitely going to be capable of dropping another tornado here very soon. Very, very soon. Like, it's probably going to try to drop again here in the next 5 minutes. Caden, glad to see you're alive. Welcome back to the stream. So we're going to continue to watch this area of rotation. You can see the cell merge now in the main clear slot. If that wasn't there, this hook would be very close to producing a tornado. It would be very, very close to producing a tornado if this cell merge wasn't right in its clear slot. Even with it in its clear slot, this is likely... We'll see what the next scan is going to have, but it's likely extremely close to producing another tornado. This is the last tornado warning in effect here, and the only tornado warning in effect in the entire US right now. Okay, that couplet did not tighten up much. Not as tight as I was thinking it might there. But this is very close to trying to produce another tornado. And if it does, it is going to go towards Aluka. It is going to go right towards Aluka in Kansas if this is able to produce another tornado, which I think it's going to be very, very close to producing another tornado by the time it gets to Aluka. So continue to watch this area of large, weak rotation. It's relatively weak at the moment. And again, downstream, this is going to go into, likely, if it can produce a tornado, it's going to be very close to Luca, Preston, Nerona, just barely north of Pratt in south central Kansas. If the inflow can increase, this is going to try to drop another violent one. If the inflow can get a little bit stronger, this could potentially try to drop another violent tornado and head right towards Luca. And you can see the greens are getting ready to really increase. You can see those greens really, really beginning to increase. I mean, man, that is going to be so close to hitting Luca. Very, very, very close if it keeps that current trajectory. Luca looks to have at least, I'd say, 50, 100 some people in it. Quite a lot of people there. I don't know if it's for sure down right now. It may be. With that well of a confined spectrum with area, there's a chance this is on the ground right now. I would just like to see if it is rotating even more on the next scan. That is likely down. There's a very good chance that is on the ground. A very good chance that's back on the ground. Selmerge still hasn't fully cleared out, so until that happens, this storm's going to have at least somewhat limited inflow. Normally, supercells and tornadoes are going to have this whole area cleared out right in here. But instead, we got all this heavy precipitation right in front of it. So if that heavy precipitation ever slows down, or if the tornado speeds up enough, this tornado could easily slam into that heavy precipitation and instantly start to be affected. So I'm pretty confident that's on the ground. The only thing that's really missing to confirm is a CC drop. You have a very good area of rotation and a very sharp hook echo, so I'm quite confident this is either very close to being on the ground or it is on the ground. A CC is the #1 way we confirm a tornado, so we're missing a very vital part to our checklist for this being on the ground based on radar. Like I said, this is going to be a very close call for Luca. I mean, Luca's literally right there. So if it wobbles even just a little bit or goes a little bit south of that current trajectory I just drew, it's going to head right into Luca. Radar indicated warning now for Luca. So make sure you are in your safe spot. This is heading into a bit of a dead zone.
NATO warning for southeastern Stafford County in south-central Kansas, northern Pratt County in south-central Kansas, Pratt and Stafford County in Kansas.
Little bit of a radar dead zone here. It's not a full dead zone. We are just in between 3 different radars here. So we're going to have to figure out which one we want to use. Probably the Wichita one. Let's see. Dodge City's 67 miles away. Wichita's at 75. Oklahoma's is 76. So the Wichita one is going to be the one we want to use here in maybe just 5-10 minutes from now. Once the storm gets a little bit further from the Dodge City radar site. Still no confirmation if this is on the ground or not. Very difficult to tell from radar. You're not going to be able to tell on radar since this is really in an open field at the moment. So no CC drop. You can see how close this hook echo is. How close it is to that not prefrontal. How close it is to that cell merger out in front of it. So if that hook ever gets into that cell merger, it could very easily occlude. I think my phone's thinking I just spoke to it or something. I think my AI just triggered over there. So new tornado warning for about 1,000 people. About 1,000 people in that new tornado warning. So this is going to come very, very close to hitting Luca. Luca is really the main area this is going to be very, very close to hitting. I have no idea how long this thing is going to survive for. It could literally go for like another 3-4 hours. Like the environment doesn't get significantly less favorable until I'm checking right now. Gracious. Trying to find out what ingredient runs out first. I think it's going to be once it gets to like northeast of Wichita, close to Newton. That's going to be when it runs out of ingredients. So this literally could be attempting to produce a tornado for the next 2-3 or so hours. So we're waiting to see if this is on the ground or not. See if the NWS ever upgrades the warning. They really could upgrade it at any second as this is approaching Luca. So if there is a tornado on the ground, it's going to be just west of Luca by about 6 miles, moving to the northeast directly towards Luca. It is also about 5 miles to the southeast of Byers. Oh, now an observed PDS. So that is now an observed, large, and extremely dangerous tornado. There you go. So now a new PDS warning for Luca, Preston. Make sure you are in your safe spot. That's for about 1,000 people there. Yeah, 978 people. So please be in your safe spot. This is going to be very, very close to hitting Luca. Right into Luca. It's It's going to be extremely close. The HRRR says this storm doesn't die off till about 2:30, 3 a.m., which would put it to the northeast of Wichita Falls, or not Wichita Falls, Wichita, Kansas. Like I mentioned in another live stream, I get those two confused. So this literally could continue to try to produce tornadoes for the next 2 to 3 hours, all the way until it gets towards near Wichita. So still that cell merge staying in front of it, right at the clear slot of this supercell. That's likely still your leftover merger there. Yeah, weather spotters confirmed a strong tornado here. Velocities don't look that strong anymore. To be honest with you, it looks a lot broader now on velocity. So this may be trying to recycle again. It's either going to continue to produce this strong tornado and try to go right into Luca, or it's going to try to re-intensify again. One or the other. So yet again, we are left with just one tornado warning here. And it is a PDS tornado warning for this one supercell. That is likely going to continue for the next 2 hours or so. All the way until it gets towards near Wichita. So just downstream, early heads up. This whole area here needs to be on high alert for the potential of a tornado threat over the next 2 hours. I mean, we're talking all the way from where we are right now in Luca, all the way to near Penlusa, back up towards Sterling, and then all the way up to almost Florence. So this whole area is where we are going to watch for a tornado threat over the next 2 to 3 hours. It is in a volatile environment. It's fully discrete. It's all by itself. The only thing that's stopping it is cell mergers and just its own ability to produce. It already produced a tornado emergency earlier. That's what we went live for. It produced a tornado emergency in Greensburg, Kansas, where it derailed a train. And it was PDS before that. So this is the third tornado that it is currently dropping, and that's probably a CC drop. Not a very notable decrease in ZDR values. You can only see a 1 pixel decrease there. So not a extremely noticeable decrease in ZDR values for that correlation coefficient, but it is in the correct spot to be a debris signature. So I do believe that is a tornado on the ground. Still on the ground. Obviously, it's been on the ground because they've observed it with a PDS tag. So that's back on the ground, as expected with the PDS tornado warning, just west of Luca. So this is, like I said, it's going to be a very close call for Luca. Very, very close call. Still could be a little bit of CC there. But that velocity scan, relatively broad, relatively weak. So if there is a tornado with this, it's about 2.7 miles northwest of Luca, moving to the northeast. So this may miss Luca by about a mile or a mile and a half. Not going to miss Luca by much. It's going to be a very, very close call. That's an old scan there. Also now a potential chemical spill in Greensburg, Kansas due to that derailed train. Potential chemical spill has been declared there due to that derailed train. Can't tell if that is a CC or not. It's really hard to tell with how much is happening in this storm. It's not a very clear cut classic supercell anymore. There's a lot of storms that have fired around it, so that's why this storm's likely not going to produce this tornado for much longer. So still could be producing a tornado barely northwest of Luca. Much weaker velocities there, though. So we'll just keep watching it as late as we can. Yeah, I don't see any more CC anymore at the moment, so that's good news. Like I said before, the HRRR doesn't have this dying out till like 2:30 a.m. CC from Wichita radar. Yeah, there is a CC from the Wichita radar site. So this is looking from the Wichita radar, which is probably going to be the radar we need to start using. You can see a CC drop there west of Luca. See if ZDR confirms that. Yep, a little bit of a ZDR drop. Although I don't know how this ZDR color table is. That is a ZDR drop. All right, we'll there might be some contamination very close to the hail core with this, but we will switch to the Wichita radar. Yeah, you can see that very faint ZDR drop in this area here. Specifically right over that CC drop, and you can confirm that by spectrum with reflectivity CC and ZDR. So that is still a tornado ongoing. Still a tornado ongoing there, going just barely to the north of Luca. So just make sure you're in your safe spot. This is in Luca, Kansas right now still. A possible tornado ongoing there. Wow, that whole scan just got completely corrupted. Look at that. How nice. How nice. That whole scan just got fully corrupted. If there is a tornado, if there is still a tornado, it is literally, and I mean literally, 1,000 yards north of Luca right now. It is like literally about 1,000 yards north of Luca. If it is on the ground. Yeah, that did clear out very fast. Look at that. Literally one scan and your inflow just started to clear out. Another merger from the west, though. So these mergers, they're going to keep hurting, but also helping this storm. They're going to continue to feed it new updrafts and new opportunities to produce tornadoes, but they're also going to inhibit it from producing tornadoes for a little while as each cell merge hits it. I love my continued corrupted radar scan. Let me get another one here in 15 seconds. Yep, it might, Caden. Mergers, they're just firing from the dry line. Yeah, that's still very corrupted. That is still very much corrupted. What time is it there? Central time, it is 11 p.m. Eastern time, it's 12:11. Yeah, other radar site, Dodge City radar site, even more corrupted because that's having to scan through the cell merge from the west flank of the supercell. So Wichita's definitely the best radar site to use right now. The HRRR has this supercell a whole county more north, which it's wrong about that. Obviously, it has the supercell being over Great Bend right now, which is way up here. It is not up there. It is a full county and almost a half more south. Continuing a PDS tornado warning here for Preston and surrounding areas, including Luca in central Kentucky. That's for 635 people. I got it, proxy. So again, we're watching this supercell that will likely be capable for producing a tornado. It should stay capable of producing a tornado for the next couple hours, likely all the way until it gets towards near Newton. Near Newton or Florence is when it should start to die out, and that won't be for another hour or two. It's yawning season now for me. I don't know how accurate those velocities are at all. But this is all. What I do know is this is still trying to produce a tornado. That's what I do know. Johnny, did you just wake up from a little nap or something? You just get a surprise. I know some people who literally just woke up and then they woke up to this supercell on their radar imagery. Yeah, this is turning into a very classic supercell again. It is turning into a very, very classic supercell again. We're down to just 3 severes in this one tornado warning, so outside of this, there's not a lot to look at, which is why we're just staying with this storm here. I mean, it's literally just one storm along the entire dry line that is fired. There's just one. And it's taking advantage of every ingredient possible. So still a PDS warning in effect. Velocities are going everywhere. It's going everywhere. I don't really know what this storm's doing, to be honest with you. It's being hit by that merger and just doing all types of things. I can tell you this, I'm not going to be able to stay up much longer. I'm about to pass out right now. I'll try to stay up as late as I can to watch this thing. But, I mean, considering we got to do this all over again, starting at like 2 o'clock tomorrow, I don't want to be here too late. But if this stays in populated areas, I'm gonna try my hardest. The area, I gotta be honest with you, the area I'm really wanting to stay up for to see if it does anything is this region. From here on out, it's all population. I mean, there's so much population in front of this thing, it's crazy. You know what, I could give you an estimate on how many people are in the potential direct path of this. This is based off of a storm track. So how fast are we moving here? This thing is moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. So if I just do that same trajectory northeast at 40 miles an hour, Is that really exactly where it's moving? That's about 50,000 people. It would go into downtown Hutchinson in 60 minutes or so. Lord have mercy. That is braking velocity. About to drop again? I would be astonished if this is not on the ground. Man, I would be so shocked if this is not producing a tornado. This is likely producing a fat old wedge tornado. I do think some of it is corruption, but not all of it. That is likely producing a big tornado. And I'm worried something like that will happen once it goes towards Hutchinson, which it's on direct course for Hutchinson. You see. So this is its estimate. Just to show you. That's the estimated path. Northeast at 40, and it takes it right into Abbeville, Arlington, Hutchinson. I mean, it takes, and I'm speechless with that newest scan. Wow. I bet this one looks even crazier. Oh my goodness, I'm just, that is insane. How fast this ramped up in 3 scans. 3 to 4 scans. Once that cell merge got away from it and it got a pretty good amount of inflow, it took off. It took off when it got that inflow. Wow. So again, this is a this is now a violent tornado back on the ground. I'm worried that this is going to go right for Hutchinson. I mean, this one storm alone just might verify this small of a moderate risk. It just might do it.
Tornado warning for western Reno County in south central Kansas, Reno County in Kansas.
Yeah. This could definitely end up being an extremely deadly storm. It is a very deadly storm right now, but when it moves into populated areas, if it keeps a couplet like this, man. Yeah, now that new PDS tornado warning, it is for 5 times the amount of people than the one we just than the one it's in. So it's 5 times more people than the one that it's currently in. So once it gets to this one, Sylvia, Langdon, Turon, Abbeville, Arlington. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It just hit something big. Oh my goodness. It just hit something big. There is not a lot of homes, but it is directly over homes and trees right now. So I don't know what it just hit between those 2 scans. Hold on, I see it. I need to delete this. Trees. It hit a lot of trees. There's a little patch of trees. I don't think you can see it on this scan. Or on this radar. There's a patch of trees, like, I think somewhere in here or so. And that's what it hit. It hit a patch of trees. But now it is over a house. Right now, it is directly over a house, as it is a violent tornado. This next scan, oh my goodness. Yep. That was it hitting a house right there. That was it hitting a house. So this is now one of the larger tornadoes this storm has spawned. Right back up there with the tornado in Greensburg, or east of Greensburg, Kansas, earlier out of this storm.
Tornado
Another
warning
PDS
for
it.
southeastern Stafford County in south-central Kansas, northeastern Pratt County in south-central Kansas, Pratt and Stafford County in Kansas.
Yep. There you go. This is not going to die anytime soon. This is a very, very classic structure. And now that it is a dead northeast moving supercell, this could easily be a long-tracked violent tornado. Very easily. So, long-tracked violent tornado is possible out of this supercell. Right now, let me go ahead and give you a estimation. So right now it is right over Northeast 120 Street and Southeast 50 Avenue Street. It is directly over there, and I believe it just got even larger on the next scan for a debris signature. Yep. Yep. Oh my goodness. That's likely that's likely the debris that it lofted up from the house. Gracious day. So this is directly over Northeast 120 Street and Southeast Avenue 90 where they intersect. It's going to go eventually very, very close to Langdon. It's going to be very close to Langdon. Yeah, near Langdon in about probably 20 minutes or so. Radar Mega decided to crash on me per usual. Man. Alright, let's see exactly what it may be over here. A lot of rural regions, mainly fields, but there's definitely houses. There's definitely houses every now and then on in this area. It's over Northeast 90 Avenue right now, which looks to be a dirt road between a bunch of fields here. So this is, to give you an idea, it is dead north by about 4.5 miles, dead north of Preston, Kansas. Lord have mercy, that is insane. For a tornado that's hitting a relatively rural area right now, that is just absurd. Man. So this is likely a huge tornado. And I can't stress enough with this one. This is likely going to be on the ground for a very, very long time. Yep. Chaser just said it is a it's a stovepipe on the ground. Wow. Oh, now he said it's still a wedge. I can't even see. You only have milliseconds between lightning flashes to see it. You only get milliseconds. Sorry, I'm watching this chaser. So this is lofting debris. That's 30,000 feet. That's at minimum 20,000. Minimum. Oh my goodness, look at all that debris. This is lofting debris at least 20,000 feet up in the atmosphere. There's definitely some houses in the path of this that have likely been hit. There's a home on Southeast 80th Street, just near the intersection of Southeast 80th Street and Southeast 110th Avenue. That could have been hit. Looks like farmland, but could have been hit because that is a house. That's house on farmland there. Right under the tornado debris signature. Gracious day. Just look at that. That's so much, so much debris. So much debris. My goodness. Huge debris signature. Likely still a large, violent tornado on the ground here. Very likely a large, violent tornado still on the ground. Chaser just said it's probably about a 1.5 mile wide wedge tornado. Proxy, we got the same feed. Oh my goodness. Absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare. And again, this is heading towards Abbeville, Arlington, heading right towards that area. Just an insane supercell. Like I said, this is still going to be a long track tornado. Zero signs of it lifting, and even if it does lift, it will likely be able to produce minutes after lifting. So this is going to be a very long tracked tornado. Oh my goodness. Still a huge debris signature. Should get a new scan now. Right now. Yep, still a large CC. Definitely a little occlusion process happening here. Looks like a storm fired right in the inflow. You see that? Looks like a storm fired right in the inflow. Which that may be able to just cut it directly off and just kill it right here. So if it does die out now, it's likely going to try to drop down again near Abbeville and Arlington. That's if it occludes now. If it doesn't occlude now, then it's still just going to continue on and keep producing potentially violent tornado damage. Still on track to go right towards Abbeville, Arlington, and then eventually the very populated city of Hutchinson in south central Kansas. My word. Not even reading velocity signatures anymore on this. My radar's just given up. Alright. Get the calculator out. I've got 108 on 128. 108 on 128. That is 236. 236. Wow. Gracious day. That's likely very close to that 236 scan I just got. It doesn't even read it on GR2 analysis. Likely still a huge wedge. Just becoming a lot more rain wrap now. Rain is wrapping around the circulation here. Make sure I got the newest scan. There we go. So this is either going to occlude or it's going to just continue to be a rain-wrapped, long-tracked, violent tornado. Very surprised we don't have a special MCD on this. I'm really surprised the SBC hasn't issued a new special MCD here. All right, let's go back to this radar again. New velocity scan here in about 2 seconds. Wow. Still crazy CC. Again, just breaking velocity, so I got to go to a different radar site. Oh my goodness. 142 mile an hour pixels on this. 142. Yeah, Tories aren't typically issued unless it's high population, so if this gets close to Langdonton, Arlington, Abbeville, Patriots, and it still looks like this, we are going to see another tornado emergency. Right now, it's in still a slightly rural area. I mean, just look at the progression of this thing already. If we just go to here, look how large the CC has been. There's barely even a gap between the debris. This is the track of all the debris so far out of this huge tornado. There's barely even a gap between the radar scans. You can't even tell that this is multiple radar scans. It just looks like one big blob. That could be a satellite, you know. That part of debris could actually be a satellite tornado. I do not know for sure by any means, but it's definitely possible. I would not rule it out at all. I mean, this thing is just absolutely violent. Just absolutely a violent tornado. You can see they keep shrinking that PDS tornado warning. They're trying to narrow it down as much as possible. And like I said, when this does get closer to higher population areas, if it still looks like this, we are gonna get a tornado emergency. So radar estimates put this at 180 mile per hour rating. Based off of radar, the debris height, the VROT, and the location it's occurred, just a simple radar estimate is 180 miles per hour, which would make it a violent tornado. But obviously that's just based off of radar and not actually a rating. Alright, new scan here in just a few seconds. 2 seconds. I can actually read all the velocities, so I think it's gotten a bit weaker here. Still 160 mile an hour velocities. Still 160 mile per hour velocities. Just insane. Absolutely insane. So again, this violent tornado is going to start getting very close to Abbeville here. It should stay north of Langdon. Should stay to the north of Langdon. It is currently located over West Irish Creek Road and Sylvia Road in south central Kansas. The tornado is approximately 100, not 100. It is approximately 11. There you go. Approximately 11 miles northeast of Preston, or 5.25 miles southwest of Sylvia in south central Kansas. Still a huge debris signature. Still lifting debris over 22,000 feet up. New velocity scans, still very, very intense tornado ongoing. That's about 83 and 99. So you're still looking at about 170 mile per hour rotation. Special MCD, there it is. 190. Potential for a strong tornadoes is expected to continue over the next hour or two. There's your special MCD. Wow. A tornado threat will continue across portions of south central Kansas over the next couple of hours. A strong tornado will be likely, and an EF3 plus tornado could occur. An intense tornadic supercell is ongoing about 50 statutes miles to the west-northwest of Wichita, Kansas. This storm is located just to the east of an axis of moderate instability where the RAP is analyzing mixed layer cape of 3,000 to 4,000 joules per kilogram. Also the potential for 2-inch hail. EF3 tornado will be possible. Wow. We very much knew that, though. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, so still a likely violent tornado on the ground. I can't even see what the velocities are, even on my other even on my radar software. Velocity is dead again. Do you mean dead as in like, yeah, not able to be read? Is that what you mean? Let's go back over here again. So still a PDS tornado running in effect here. Still a huge debris signature. Just absolutely huge. Still no sign of an occlusion. The only time it tried to occlude was when it... Do you realize this survived a direct hit from a storm? Do you know how rare that is? This tornado survived a direct hit from another storm. It literally hit the hook. It formed inside the hook echo. Inside the clear slot. The tornado wrapped around, rewrapped, and now is clearing that clear slot back out. Do you realize how insane that is for a tornado? That's pushing the limits of even possibility. That's how crazy it is. I mean, it's nearly meteorologically impossible. That's how absurd it is. A tornado surviving a direct hit from another rain shower is nearly unheard of. Especially maintaining violent status during that cell merge. I mean, just crazy. So these velocities, these are reading about 197 velocities right there. Very, very close to 200. Very close. Five minutes ago, Chaser reported a massive, violent wedge tornado ongoing Sylvia, Kansas. And there's Sylvia. So likely that Chaser was looking from possibly their house. Assuming by the name, probably they're chasing one of the roads out here and saw the tornado near Sylvia. By their name, I don't think they live out here. Wow. All right, new velocity scan here in 2 seconds, 1 second, 0 seconds, now. Oh, and velocity's gone. Velocity's just straight up gone. It's just gone. It's not even able to read it anymore. There's just about a 9 to 12 pixel gap just gone. Not even able to be read anymore. that is just mind-blowing right there. Otherwise still is reading it. I haven't changed that conversion there, but that's 50 meters a second. I think that is 50 meters a second on 44 meters a second. Whatever the heck that is. So 50 plus 44, so that's a 94 meters a second to mph. 212? Apparently that's 212. There's your big debris ball again. It looks like it's trying to occlude again. We will see. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. 124 and 85 right there. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's what I was thinking too. Another tornado emergency. Second one.
Tornado warning for northwestern Reno County in south-central Kansas, Reno County in Kansas.
Another tornado emergency has been issued. The second one out of this storm. Wow. So Plevna, Abbeville, this is a violent tornado capable of catastrophic damage. Catastrophic damage is expected with this supercell. There is a supercell that is producing a tornado. Radar has observed winds potentially as high as 220 miles per hour with the velocity couplet. So this tornado is well within range of producing catastrophic damage of wind speeds over 170 miles per hour. So Abbeville, Plevna, Slivia in south central Kansas. You are in a tornado emergency right now. The more northeast angle motion this has kind of makes me think this may start occluding shortly. Because you can see how that hook was angled this way. And now it's moved more north. If I think we can notice that on CC. Not really. It really just looks like a normal track. Doesn't really look like it's shifted much on here, so that wouldn't be much of a occlusion process at all. Man. So Abbeville is a very small town out here in Kansas. Again, this is in Kansas. But Plevna, oh my goodness, Plevna. Plevna, this is gonna go right into Plevna. Oh my goodness, no. Plevna, Kansas. Yeah, so this is gonna go right into Plevna. So Community Bible Church, out there in Plevna, Kansas. I mean, it's gonna go right through this area. It is on direct path. It is direct path. There's about between 80 to 90 people who live here. It is likely a mile to a mile and a half wide. This town is not much larger than that. This town is not much larger than that. From north to south, this town is... the town's not even a mile wide. The tornado is larger than the town. The tornado is literally larger than the town. If this keeps on course, this has an opportunity to completely devastate Plevna, Kansas. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is just hard to watch. Oh my goodness. This is gonna go right into Plevna. Oh my goodness. This is a huge tornado, y'all. That newest scan is like 218. Y'all. 98.4 and 120. 98, 120. That is literally 218.4 mile an hour rotation. Is there a way I can show this here? I just want to prove that that is what we are seeing here. Gate to gate, 98, 120. I don't know if I've ever seen a tornado like that before. Not in a very, very long time. Plevna is likely about to be completely destroyed. CC is not even there anymore. That is how much debris is being lofted. It is not even being detected by radar. This is a absolutely catastrophic situation where a tornado is larger than the town going through Plevna. This is a super violent tornado. It's literally on direct course for Plevna, Kansas. It's going directly towards the town. In about 5 minutes, we will figure out if... I don't know a way how this doesn't go directly towards Plevna. Plevna, you are inevitably going to be hit by this tornado. We can just hope and pray that it weakens and starts to occlude at this very second. Apparently, this is the first tornado emergency in the National Weather Service in Wichita, Kansas jurisdiction in about 5,000 days. I don't know how accurate that is, but apparently it is the first Tory in 5,000 days for this National Weather Service office. Oh my goodness. Let's go to weather-wise here. That is, I mean, look at that. I'm in full disbelief. Right over a town, too. Oh my goodness. Braking velocities here. Again, braking velocities. Still a violent tornado about to go right over the town of Plevna in Kansas. It is not more than about 3 to 4 minutes away from going into Plevna, a town of about 80 to 90 people. Oh my word, there's a chaser on this. It is giant. It is freaking giant, like 2 miles wide giant. Oh my goodness, it is humongous. Can I see? So this is going right through the town of Plevna, Kansas. Just a massive tornado, potentially 2 miles wide. About to go right through the town. Look at all that debris. Lofting debris possibly 32,000 feet up. Oh my goodness. Tornado emergency for about 500 people. This is going to get very close to Abbeville, but I mean, it's going to go directly over Plevna. It is over Plevna right now. It is actively over Plevna, potentially up to 2 mile wide tornado right over Plevna right now. This is the only tornado warning in effect, and it is a tornado emergency for a catastrophic tornado. Oh my goodness. Yeah, chasers are getting to Plevna as fast as possible. But I mean, it's going to be right over Plevna here. The debris signature is just huge. Just absolutely huge tornado over Plevna, Kansas right now. Velocity is significantly weaker, but I don't know how accurate that actually is. But it is significantly weaker, it looks like. I mean, with how large this is, dude, it's I mean, I can't even tell you. It's likely at winds of 200 miles per hour right over Plevna. I don't even think chasers are going to be able to get remotely close to Plevna. That last velocity signature, it hasn't moved. Look at that. It didn't move. There's a small chance it's occluding right now, but I mean it's too late. It's already in Plevna. Let's go back to this radar again. It's right over Plevna. Like I said, with a tornado a mile to 2 miles wide, it's huge. Absolutely huge tornado. Yeah. Next velocity scan, it's still at likely a violent tornado. The velocities never went into Plevna. It stayed on the west side there. Look how huge this thing has gotten over Plevna. That's the probability of debris. You can see where it started and how giant it has gotten over Plevna. It is like doubled in size. Doubled in size there over Plevna, Kansas. So still a tornado ongoing right in Plevna. I mean, it definitely hit Plevna. For sure. Yeah, it was likely about 2 miles wide. I wouldn't be shocked if it was larger. I would not be shocked if this was larger than 2 miles wide. How large was that scan on reflectivity? Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if it was larger than 2 miles wide. CC is significantly lighter now. It is significantly lighter. And velocity just let up a bunch. Down to like 120. So this thing's occluding. This thing is indeed occluding. But unfortunately, I believe it was too late. Like I said, a tornado like this, I mean, it's going to take forever for it to occlude. It's like a full 10-minute process. Sometimes they can just poof disappear, but when they're like 2 miles wide like this, I mean, my word. So this will likely lift, and we will likely see a new tornado, likely just as intense, try to develop north of Abbeville here. And that's going to be the one that may go right into Hutchinson, Willowbrook, and that general area. Yeah, someone said trees are snapped in half. Chaser said house was shredded. That's his exact words. House was shredded. And he's on the outskirts of Plevna. Oh my goodness. PDS tornado warning continues on the northern side. They just reissued that. So they're going to keep the tornado emergency in place most likely until it expires in 5 minutes. And now there's that PDS warning.
Tornado warning for northwestern Reno County in south central Kansas, southeastern Rice County in central Kansas, Reno, and Rice County in Kansas.
So there's that new PDS warning. Still tornado on the ground, reflectivity debris ball with it. Although most likely quite a bit smaller. Gracious day. Now the next question is exactly where is it going to go next? It has taken a very sharp turn that allowed it to, instead of going into Abbeville, it took a sharp turn right into Plevna. At least on the west-northwest side of Plevna. And now is north of Plevna. And should currently be weakening, even though it's still very strong and likely it is re-intensified. It should be weakening with a meso handoff trying to occur here northwest of Abbeville. It looks like this is going to avoid Hutchinson. It's turning even more north again. All right, no longer a tornado emergency in place. They've actually downgraded that to a PDS warning for the next 4 minutes. And then, of course, they've continued the new PDS warning for 49 minutes. Gracious. All right, it has weakened down a little bit more again. It's still very far up there, though. Likely about 150. Still staying right around 150. Once this storm gets past the edge of the instability axis, it will die off rapidly. But I don't expect that to occur for at least another hour. So I for sure, I know this is going to try to produce another intense to violent tornado over the next hour. So we're going to keep watching this storm as it, the first tornado occludes, or this is what, probably like the third tornado occludes. You can see how it took that northern track, and it started to weaken, likely started to shrink as it went into Plevna. Likely began to weaken and shrink as it went into Plevna. I mean, just look at that. That is absolutely horrific. So there's its track. Its entire track right there. Actually, I don't even think that goes back far enough to when it touched down. Okay, it does. Touchdown about 421Z. So almost an hour tornado. Probably about a 50-minute tornado. Here's the NROT. Oh my word. The worst NROT definitely went to the west of Plevna, but like I said, when it's a 2 mile wide tornado, it's gonna hit it. But you can see that occlusion process clear as day. Clear as day, it was beginning to occlude right as it was approaching Plevna. That is just absurd. And there's the winds in Spectrum with a clear path there as well. I don't know if I've ever seen a clear path on Spectrum with before of a tornado. That is insane. Wow. I mean that one of the homes literally just fully like it's mangled kind of like a tree or something. It looks like possibly a well-built home. I mean, it's just fully mangled and destroyed. It's not swept clean. The slab's not swept clean, but it's a fully slabbed house. It is completely slabbed. Violently slabbed. But like I said, debris is still there. Wow. Yes, Caden. That's what I was looking at. Well, seems like this is likely about to, if not lifted. But guess what? There is already a new hook echo starting up. So that's going to be getting very close to Willowbrook. Very, very close to Willowbrook. Man. Yeah, so we're going to continue to watch this storm. Likely, tornado's likely lifted now. It started to really weaken right after Plevna. That's when it started to rapidly weaken. Man. Alright, so I do believe the tornado's now lifted. If it hasn't, then it's extremely weak. So now we are going to pay very close attention to this storm to see exactly where it may recycle at. To see if it does recycle. And I do believe it's going to attempt to recycle right here on this portion of the storm and try to move northeast. Still a PDS tornado warning in place. You can see that ZDR arcing already starting up. So this is about to drop another tornado very imminently. Very, very imminently. This one will have the chance to go tornado emergency very quickly. Because this is a very populated region. This is a populated area of about generally 4,000 people. So if this does rapidly intensify like it has the last 4 times, then it's going to be in a very, very populated region. That occlusion process there was extremely brutal too. I mean, it occluded fast right after it hit the town. I think it was a little bit weaker in the town, but I mean that was at least at minimum a violent tornado. At minimum a low end violent tornado. Velocities of like 180 there. If you guys ever get any photos of damage or know anything or see anything from scanners or hear anything, just let me know on Twitter or in the YouTube chat. You want to tag me on Twitter at TRG Tornado or just say it in the chat. Just let me know if you hear anything about the town. Maybe this won't really intensify, but I don't know about that. I think it's going to really, really start to intensify here. I mean, you can already see the classic ZDR arcing taking shape here. So it's likely going to attempt to drop a tornado here over the next 15 minutes. Likely extremely close to Willowbrook. Because the tornado occluded, that shifted much of the supercell northward. So this should stay outside of the 30,000 populated area of Hutchinson. 30,000 people live there. I think it will stay away from that city. Okay. Man, this storm has traveled far. We first went live right... Let's see, when we first went live here. Right here is where we went live, this scan. As it was south of Greensburg. We watched it go and occlude south of Greensburg, drop a huge tornado again south of Greensburg, went just to the east of Greensburg, occluded, dropped another tornado near Wellsford Briars, or Byers, stayed on the ground, went very close to Luca, occluded, and then started dropping another tornado northwest of Preston. And then that's the one we just watched happen again. Another violent tornado. This thing's produced at least 4 intense tornadoes, 2 of which were likely violent. Depends exactly how many times it lifted. That's the tricky part. It may have produced just, who knows, 1 violent tornado and then this violent tornado. It may have just produced simply 2 very long-tracked violent tornadoes. If it only lifted once. Oh, according to a person next to Plinva, they said dispatch requesting emergency services switch to operational channels for Plevna response. They're aware of scanner listeners. Probably won't get more information from now on. Yep, that makes sense. The supercell looks the absolute weakest it's ever looked before, so there may be a chance this is it. There may be a chance we are done. It's moved into an environment that is half as favorable as it was. So there is a slim chance, but definitely a chance that that was it. And this storm is going to go off to die pretty soon and quite quickly. I can tell you this, we will find out sooner rather than later if it's done now. It doesn't look as impressive. It still looks tornadic. We'll see. We'll need to give it a good minute. I think we're going to need to give it at least a good 20 to 30 minutes to see if it's going to try to recycle. Because that occlusion made it take quite the beating. Alright. Give me a second, y'all. Yeah, all chasers have really gone search and rescue here, so I'm just switching through feeds. Most have gone to full search and rescue for Plevna and surrounding regions. There we go. Also, a lot of the chasers that are out here, they've got a 5+ hour drive to Oklahoma for tomorrow's target. So these guys are going to be up all night. They're going to do a bunch of search and rescue now, and then when they get the chance to, they'll start driving down to Oklahoma. And they probably won't get much of a much sleep. So this storm's running out of instability. It's no longer in the 4,000 cape it once was in. It's now down to 2,000. Still enough cape to promote a strong tornado threat, potentially even a violent tornado threat. It is still in one of the most volatile environments you can get. The only thing that has changed is instability has halved. So this storm still going to be extremely capable of producing intense tornadoes. But man, this thing was just, it was in one of the most volatile environments I've ever tracked in my life. All it took was one supercell. That's all it took. And that's why we had the moderate today. All it took was one singular supercell to get discrete in the moderate. And it produced multiple intense tornadoes, potentially 2 violent tornadoes. After dark, too. So this is the violent tornado parameter. And you can see it's well outside of that bullseye. This is probably wrong. I have a feeling this is wrong. Nope. So that's the bullseye for your violent tornado parameter. But if we go to supercell composite, you can see it's still, and actually, it's, where is it? That violent tornado parameter? It's like right up here. So it's still on the edge of it. It's not in the dead bullseye of 20. It's still on the, it's now on the edge of it, probably closer to 10 to 12 or so. I'm good, Kate. I can definitely stay at least another hour. I'm good. I'm at least gonna stay until the next full H triple R starts coming in. And shoot, don't we get the day one outlook in 30 minutes? I mean, heck, I'm definitely gonna stay. You kidding? You bet ya I'm gonna stay. I was able to eat one slice of pizza off a stream, and then I started the stream right back up. So at least I got me some supper. So I wouldn't have been able to make it this long if I didn't eat that one piece of pizza, man. I think tomorrow, I don't know about if it will go moderate. I don't know. I don't know their confidence in storm mode. I don't know. I know it will be in probably in eastern Oklahoma. That's about all I know. Let's see here. Keep forgetting where I put this one screenshot. Was it on this one? Oh, nope, nope. That was the one from yesterday. Oh, well, I ain't ever gonna find this thing. Looking good, y'all. We're looking good. Just hope this storm looks exactly like this and keeps on weakening. We looking good. Even though it's in such a volatile environment, that cape is starting to drop, and that's all it takes. Tornadoes are very, very, very sensitive. Where's Great Bend? Okay, that's where it is. Man, the people who called this quit early, anyone who called this quits early and went to sleep at like, when did we end stream? I don't know, like maybe 10:30, 10:30. Anyone called it quits then? Oh boy, they're gonna be in for a crazy morning. That's for sure. Waking up to seeing all the pictures and everything, all because of one stupid supercell. Just one. You could see the one in Oklahoma and Kansas border. It did die out like all models really showed, but just those storms fired on the dry line and they rode the dry line, keep cell merging, and I mean that's how you get violent tornadoes, man. That's exactly how it happens. Alright, we are all the way down to radar indicated. We are all the way down to radar indicated now. Man. It's been one supercell. It was this single supercell right here in the moderate risk that made it really verify. And then the moderate risk in Kentucky, it was that one supercell in eastern Kentucky, and it verified that whole southern side of the moderate 2 days ago. Both of them were one very memorable supercell. Of course, in Kentucky, though, we also had on May 16th the Southern Illinois one. There was a few on that day. Same with this day, but those two very long tracked ones. That's what I'm getting at. That is what I'm getting at. Long tracked. That one in Kentucky tracked from southwest Missouri all the way to southeast Kentucky, being tornado warned for 10 hours. This one had two tornado emergencies and tracked from near Coldwater, Kansas, all the way up to where it's now no longer even tornado warned, northwest of Hutchinson. So, man, we are down to a severe thunderstorm warning. Wow. And as fast as it blew up, it died out. There you go. As fast as it exploded, it died out. Right after it hit Plimva. Plimva. I'm not too sure how to pronounce the town. Yeah, search and rescue across all of the chasers out here. Plinva, I think is how you say it. That house is completely slabbed, and that looks to be brick. Just catastrophic. Just catastrophic. Man. By the way, a year ago from this event, or not a year ago, in 2017 from this day's event, which was May 18th. May 18th was yesterday, right? We're still technically on the day of May 18th, SPC-wise, from 12Z to 12Z. We're still technically on the 18th. In 2017, the fourth high risk was issued for that year. The fourth high risk was issued on May 18th, 2017 for that year. And it was none other than Oklahoma and Kansas. So just crazy how that also overlapped to a setup like today. And that day, I'm pretty sure it had just a few supercells that produced strong to up to violent tornadoes. And yeah, let me show you. I'm gonna have to black out the screen real quick because I don't know the last thing I screenshotted. It was probably a video of the tornado or something, so I don't want to get copyrighted. But look at this. Bit of a flashbang warning. That is for tomorrow. CSU just went 35% SIG for the tornado risk. Now, of course, this is not an official outlook. This is based off of singular just model runs. Just model runs alone. And that went high risk for tomorrow. So we got a long day ahead of us tomorrow. I'm going to stay here till the next outlook from the SPC, which I think is going to be in 20 minutes. Random guide depends how long you've been gone. If you haven't tuned into this 3-hour live stream, you missed 3 to 4 intense tornadoes, with at least 2 of them being violent, one of them being 2 or more miles wide. Or right around there. See how high debris was lofted? Good thing you're asking now, because the radar scans get too far back. So this is as far back as I can go. Alright, so that's 24,000 feet. That's debris being seen at 29,000 feet. I would say a good estimate is definitely 30K. It could have been a little bit lower, or it could have been 2,000 feet higher. A good estimate is 30,000 feet. I'm pretty sure it was lofted 32,000 feet up at one point. The special MCD, when does that expire? 2:45 a.m. Eastern. That's still another hour. But this supercell is dying off. Still a little rotation with it. It's not impossible it tries to come back. It is in still a really good environment. We are down to just 3 normal severes. That is it. Yeah, a lot of search and rescue efforts ongoing. Many buildings fully slabbed and completely demolished. So a lot of search and rescue, a lot of fire department on scene across the tornado's path. Lot of damage. A lot of damage. So this is from the lead forecaster and lead meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Dodge City in Kansas. He's one of the people you can thank for the reasoning of a tornado emergency back out for the Greensburg area earlier. That likely saved many lives. Bill Turner, early this morning, very early this morning, on Facebook, he said, "I am not saying this is an exact repeat of the Greensburg 2007 tornado event, but I predict an outcome of a similar intensity and geographical location this evening, focused across southeastern portions of the NWS Dodge City County warning areas." So he recognized a pattern. He called it out on Facebook there and said it. And unfortunately, it was very close to the Greensburg 2007 tornado. Very, very close. But thankfully, Greensburg was spared today. It stayed off, barely off to their east. There we go. Please leave the rating for later. Right now, the main thing is trying to figure out if people have been killed by this. I don't care about the rating right now at all. So don't talk about it. We can talk about that maybe tomorrow evening or after search and rescue has been, just somewhat completed. I hate when Twitter does that. I hate it. The first thing they go to is the intensity. Immediately, they're instantly, oh, this could break the drought. This might be it. This might be the largest tornado in history. This might have broken El Reno's record. This might be worse than more. Almost instantly, almost within minutes of any photo of the tornado coming out, or any video of a roar, or any velocity scan that exceeds 190 miles per hour. Almost instantly, this could be it. This could break the drought. This could be the first EF5 in 13 years. 12, 13 years. I mean, it's still big time damage there. I'm listening to Chasers right now. They're all on search and rescue, at least the ones I'm currently watching. And then after that, like I said, they all gotta go back to Oklahoma. Most Chasers started in Oklahoma today, then went to Kansas, or they started in Colorado and went to Kansas. And eventually they're all going to converge near Tulsa tomorrow. Tulsa's going to be the #1 area to try to get some sleep in tonight, or at least near that area. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with discussing the rating of a tornado, but when a tornado has just occurred and that's the first thing that comes to your mind, that's kind of crazy. At least in my opinion, because right when I see a tornado, I instantly think about where it's affected, who's it hit, how many houses, are they okay? That's stuff that comes to my mind. Not was this EF5. Claremore, Oklahoma, I'm assuming you're saying? Um, I mean, yeah, you're gonna be good overnight. Yeah, yeah, you'll be fine overnight. But tomorrow, unfortunately it's probably gonna be a bit of a different story tomorrow. We'll start up the stream probably near 3 p.m. Eastern, same as today. Possibly even earlier than that. Possibly even earlier. Maybe it may be needed as soon as 1. We may be live as soon as right after the 12:30 p.m. update tomorrow. So tonight you'll be good. Make sure you get some good rest. Tomorrow's definitely going to be a long, long day for that area. Pete, I only follow a very select few. I only follow 99 people. A very, very tight group, just people I trust. But I mean, I look all over the feed because a lot of the times that's where the information is where from people I don't follow, chasers that I may not have discovered yet. So But a lot of the drama and everything that happens on there, I have so many people muted and blocked, so I don't see a lot of drama. So far, I've only seen 1 to 2 people say this is a possible EF5 or may break the drought. It hasn't been too crazy yet. So we're staying live for the outlook. That's why I'm here. I'm not concerned about this storm anymore. We're still going to keep an eye on it just in case, but it's nothing more than a heavy rain shower now anymore. Let me go back here. Doesn't the new outlook come out at 2 a.m. Eastern? I swear it's 06Z, right? Yeah, and that's 10. See the time right there? 5:50 UTC. Just need to turn that to a 6. We should get a new outlook. Pretty sure. I am exhausted. I am ready to sleep. My computer has heated up my room to the point where it feels like I'm in a freaking microwave and it's 85 degrees in here. So it's going to be a hot minute before I can fall asleep because I cannot fall asleep when it's hot like this. So I'm going to turn my computer off as soon as I get off stream. And that won't be for a little while because, like I said, I want to see that new the new HRRR at least for tonight. It doesn't have to be into tomorrow. I can look at it tomorrow. I just want to see it for tonight. And big thing is I want to see that SPC outlook. That's what I want to see. Can't even type. I need to close Twitter. Twitter is lagging out so bad. So much better. It's like every now and then it just needs to be refreshed. The storm was moving at about between, it depends on exactly when. It was moving anywhere between 30 to 45 miles per hour. Now it's probably moving much closer to 45 to 50. It very gradually sped up with time. So we're waiting to see the new SPC outlook here in the next about 10-ish minutes or so. It should be out. It's scheduled to be out in 8 minutes and 20 seconds. But sometimes they're a little early, a little later. Sometimes they're right on time. Very rare they're right on time, but it's not impossible. Yeah, I don't know if they'll go moderate. It's all down to storm mode, in my opinion. That's how today was. And they pulled the trigger on today this morning, so they may wait until the 9 a.m. update like they did this morning. One thing I'm going to argue, for sure, today should have been a PDS tornado watch. No doubt in my mind that second tornado watch we got should have been PDS. Because there was a near guarantee of a strong tornado today. And even almost a guarantee of an intense tornado. So that's one of the biggest things that I think they underdid. We had less tour probabilities today than what we did in Kentucky for the 16th. And the 16th had a whole heck of a lot more uncertainties than today. Today, the biggest issue was storm mode. And then we did eventually find out another issue was very surface or around surface instability. I don't think I need the radar in Dallas anymore. Shoot. That storm that caused the tornado warning in Denton and McKinney, man, that thing's long gone. There ain't even a rain shower in sight. That might be that. I wonder if that might be what's. No, that's just some rain out there. So I'll close that out. Man, look, I still have the radar up here in Goodland open from when we used it. What, like so long ago. I think we're nearing an 11.5 hour live stream today. No, we're nearing a 10-hour live stream. Yeah, if we end at 4 hours, it will be 10 hours of coverage today. The moderate risk area almost was a bust, but then this happened, and yeah, that verified it. I think one long-tracked supercell that has dropped 4 intense tornadoes, potentially 2 violent ones, across the entire southwest to northeast extent of the moderate risk. I mean, literally, like, this whole area right in here. I'm pretty sure that is verified, the moderate. Yeah, this was indeed a 3-hour-long supercell being tornado warned for the entire 3 hours. Yes. It sure was. Seems like some chasers are starting to end their streams either because they're doing full search and rescue or because they're going to Oklahoma. Or because they're going to sleep and then getting ready to go to Oklahoma very, very early in the morning. But most chasers search and rescue and starting to dive southeast. All right, new HRRR should be in. I just want to see what it has for the rest of tonight. See if it does anything with this storm. Nope. That's the end. Kills it off. So that's the end of that storm. HRRR kills it off. So should be it. Still could see a few isolated severes tonight, potentially a tornado or two. I wouldn't completely rule out a strong one overnight just because of how potent the environment is, but it's likely going to be quite difficult for us to see a strong tornado tonight. All right, let's go to here. All right, so seems like the western side of Plevna was hit. The occlusion process saved the eastern side of the town. So the central side of the town got hit a bit. Western side was hit very rough, and then the eastern side seemed relatively unscathed. So the occlusion process saved the eastern side, relatively saved the downtown portion, but the west side was hit pretty hard. I'll close this Goodland radar site. Anything to help my computer start calming down. I'll close Weatherwise too, because we're not going to be using Weatherwise. Not for the rest of today. We'll be using it tomorrow, though. Came in very, very handy. Much faster than Radar Omega. Now I see why everybody's switched. Felt a lot faster using Weatherwise. Alright, there's your day 2 outlook. Huge. Quite huge enhanced risk now. Looks like it's... Well, actually, it was pretty big before. They expanded it well into Kentucky. That was the biggest change. I'd say it's probably about 1.5 times larger now for May 20th. Not today, May 20th. So tomorrow, but not also tomorrow. You know what I mean. May 20th. It's now the 19th here on the East Coast. And there you go. Large 10 sig Tor in place. Let's see, 15% hail risk. That has not updated. That is not updated yet. Looks like pretty much your whole, if not your whole, enhanced risk. Yep, for wind and for tornado. Let's see here. Several squall lines and clusters, severe wind gusts, embedded tornadoes, particularly where the lines are orientated more favorably, will be likely. So tornadoes are likely for this day, May 20th. That's the current day 1 outlook, valid for tonight. But that is not the new outlook that we are still waiting on. Oh, Lord have mercy, they pulled it. Yep, they did it. Big moderate. There you go. Big moderate. Wow. There you go. That's what we were waiting for. Likely fully driven by tornadoes. Possibly also hail and wind. I wouldn't be shocked if it's for all of it. Yep, definitely full 15 sig Tor. So, we're in for the same probabilities that we had today for tomorrow, tornado-wise. I think tomorrow, though, has a better chance at the moment to produce tornadoes. I don't know, today was very rough, though. We'll see. There is... Wow. I don't think I have ever been awake to see no tornado watches active. I don't think I have ever seen this. I don't think we have ever stayed up late enough for a risk where we have watched all the watches expire. We've been live from the first watch to the last watch to no watches. I don't think I've ever done that before. Wow. I cannot believe it. No watches in effect. No watches in effect. Wow. Yep, huge 45 sig hail too. Look at that. And 30% wind. I think that wind could be upgraded too. So literally the same tornado, the same hail, the same categorical risk, and actually a higher wind risk tomorrow than today. So if we go based off of categorical risks, tomorrow is a better chance for all severe hazards. So, yep, there she is. That's what we'll be tracking starting probably at 1, 2 p.m. tomorrow, I imagine. Probably around 2 p.m. we'll be live tomorrow. Oklahoma City, Stillwater, Ada, Ardmore, McAllister, Tulsa, Bartlesville, Fort Smith, Arkansas, Joplin, Missouri, Fayetteville, Arkansas, into northern Texas. 15 SIG tour is in place. Another classic Plains tornado outbreak is likely tomorrow. Just like what we saw today, but unfortunately even more widespread and even more significant. Wow. We gotta do all this all over again tomorrow, y'all. All this all over again. Yippee. Not gonna be fun. I'll see the end of the 05ZH Triple R model run. Actually, we might still be live for it. I'm gonna stay live all the way till 4 hours in, so we got about 20 more or so minutes, 20-ish minutes before we conclude. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe with the notification bell set to all. We'll be live much of the day tomorrow. We'll be live about 12 hours from now, so I gotta get my tail to sleep. I gotta get to sleep. That is for sure. We will definitely hit 9,600 subscribers tomorrow, if not potentially even overnight tonight. So I appreciate you guys for subscribing, all the support on the channel recently, all of you guys tuning in, helping me spread the word about these severe weather threats. It has been a wild stretch. 3 moderate risks. 3 moderate risks. Just insane. And we definitely could have had a high risk for the 16th. It easily could have been a high risk and possibly could have verified as one. Today definitely wouldn't have verified as a high risk unless it was the world's smallest high risk in a very tight area. Tomorrow, I'm going to just leave it on that. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. NATOcast has a high risk. CSU has a high risk. SPC just upgraded to a large moderate. There's enough room for... I wouldn't completely rule it out. I'm not going to say the word, though. You got to put the puzzle piece together. Yes, I don't think we're going to get any more updates over the next 30 minutes. We'll just see what the HRRR has for tomorrow. It's already at 13Z, so we'll see much of it. So we'll stay live here for a little bit longer. Hayden, I have a feeling we'll see uptrends tomorrow morning. I don't know why, but I have a feeling. I have a feeling things will uptrend even more. Significant severe weather is likely today, referring to May 19th, across portions of central and the southern plains into the Ozarks, as well as into tonight. All severe weather hazards are expected, including tornadoes, some potentially strong to intense, very large hail, and severe winds. There you go. So we got a moderate risk. Are you trying to say what are you trying to say there, Caden? You mean putting the moderate? Nah. I doubt it. I doubt it. There is not a single watch active in the entire U.S. We are down to one severe thunderstorm warning. One severe warning is active. That is it. One. Not two. Not more than two. Not even close to three. One. And that expires in 4 minutes, so we will actually be without any severe warnings or any watches in 4 minutes. No warnings, no watches. Not even a severe warning. Not even a normal severe warning if this is allowed to expire. It was just canceled. There you go. Flash flood warnings are the only ones in effect. No severe thunderstorm warnings, no tornado warnings. So we switch back to this screen, which is a screen we haven't been at in nearly 9 hours. Oh yeah, I forgot the NAM 00Z came in for tomorrow too. Doesn't show any prefrontal storms. That's going to be something we really got to watch tomorrow, is how messy our prefrontal storms are. Messy mode could easily destroy the potential tomorrow. Now this is just for tomorrow. That's it. It has been a wild stretch of severe weather. This has been an insane stretch. So many intense tornadoes, with at least one confirmed violent tornado now. 190-mile-an-hour winds there from the tornado emergency on May 16th in southern Illinois. Third, moderate risk. Man. I'm not ready for it. I am not ready for it. You know what I am ready for? Some sleep. I'm sure all you guys are too. Excuse me. I'm going to task kill my pen here. There you go. I'll warn you, I'm probably gonna be a lot less talkative here for 20 minutes. Not much happening. And I'm exhausted. I hope I got it in me to stream one more full day. Tomorrow might be one of the harder days. We will see. And we've been live so much, dude. Let's see. Yeah, we started on the 15th. Actually, no, we started way before that. So 6 days ago, we did our first stream. our first daily stream. That was 1 hour. Next day, an hour and a half. Next day, an hour. Next day, that was 11 and a half hours. Moderate risk in Kentucky. 13 hours and 45 minutes yesterday. 4 hours today. 10 hours. And tomorrow will likely be another live stream very near 10 hours. Excuse me again. Sorry, y'all. I apologize for all the yawning. So here's the evolution. So this is the first risk we covered. Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Iowa. Then this is the one we did for 11 and a half hours. Watched storms fire in southwest Minnesota. We tracked them all the way through Minnesota, all the way through Wisconsin, all the way through Indiana, Illinois. Watched them start to die out as they hit the thumb of Michigan, and they died out in Ohio. That's the day Lucky got a tornado, too, in eastern Oklahoma. Next day, big moderate risk. That was their 4 p.m. update. Of course, we tracked them from southwest Missouri, right in this area is where they fired, through Missouri, through the Boot Hill, through western Kentucky, through southern Kentucky, through eastern Kentucky, till they started to weaken on the Appalachian Mountains here. And yeah, of course, we saw at least one violent tornado Tory there in southern Illinois. And then we had our long tracked 90-plus minute tornado from Somerset to Lincoln, Kentucky. Yesterday, one of the least intensive days for severe weather. 3-inch hail there in central Oklahoma. 80-mile-an-hour winds there in eastern Oklahoma. That one tornado that Connor got here in central Oklahoma. Pretty much inactive in the enhanced risk. We saw 60-mile-an-hour winds and 1.5-inch hail, but nothing near the 4 to 5-inch hail potential yesterday had. And then, of course, the stream you're watching right now, the long-tracked supercell in Kentucky, or not Kentucky, Texas. Shows you I'm getting tired. Just called Texas, Kentucky. So long-tracked supercell there. That spawned at least 5 tornadoes, potentially as many as 7. Not much in northern Texas or central Oklahoma. We had that one tornado Reed Timmer got there in the just barely south of the Panhandle in west central Oklahoma. Plenty of intense to violent, even a violent tornado or two there in northwest Kansas. The 3 or 4 strong tornadoes we got when we started our live stream way back, long time ago, like 10 hours ago. Feels even longer than that. Out there in northeastern Colorado, saw 4 strong tors there. Potential tornado southwest Nebraska. And then, of course, this live stream, this exact one you're watching here, we've been live for over 3.5 hours. Watch that supercell track from south of Greensburg, Kansas, all the way to when it is died out now. And is not much more than a heavy rain shower there over McPherson. Now the big question. What happens tomorrow? May 19th. Big old moderate risk. And it's not over. We got one more. I hate to do it to you, but we got one more. We got the 20th. 10 significant tornado risk there. Enhanced risk for severe weather. All right, let's go back over to our model runs here. Yep, so there you go. They initiate at 1 o'clock. Storms start to fire at 1. There you go. 1 p.m. tomorrow Eastern time. Storms begin to fire. You can see messy mode, definitely an issue. They look very messy, don't they? They don't look very well organized, in my opinion. But that's going to change over the next few frames of this model run. There is 4 frames left. Yeah, we can definitely get 4 frames in 14 minutes. That's for sure. So that's for 1 p.m. Eastern. We're waiting to see the rest of this run. And like I said, we'll head off. Main thing was I wanted to stay live for that day 1 and day 2 outlook at 2 a.m., which we did. Successfully. We did it. Somehow. Somehow we did it. I think we're back at a severe warning. Maybe for somewhere in Dixie Alley. Yep. Back at 1 severe warning for next 56 minutes for Littleville, Mississippi. 60-mile-an-hour winds, 0.75-inch hail. Nothing I'm going to stay up for, that's for sure. It looks sloppy. But, man, all it takes is a little bit less convection, and tomorrow could easily have the threat for long-tracked, intense tornadoes, potentially even a violent tornado or two. It looks like another high-end day. Also, look at the reports from the 16th. And now one of the most prolific outbreaks we've had this entire year. It's one of the most prolific outbreaks we've had the whole year. And these aren't even done yet. We'll probably get a few more reports, but that's the majority of it. It went from 400 reports at the end of the day to 1,225. It went up a lot by the time everything was said and done. You can see there's my house right there. And near the start of those damaging wind reports, we were live during that. That was fun. Just still don't know how I didn't lose power on that day. Just a miracle I didn't lose power there. $15 frames out of 18 frames. Almost there. Yeah, I'll stay at the severe warning scene so that way I can get rid of this stuff over here. Perfect. Like I said, once I end this stream, I'm going right to sleep. I need to get me some good sleep, and then we'll be live tomorrow, likely 1, 2 p.m. Eastern. We will be live. Trying to find something in here. Where is it? Should be... There we go. I got it. Not going to do any outro music because this was a urgent stream. There won't be any outro music. So we'll just end abruptly once we hit the mark. We're 1 subscriber away from 9,600, so we will likely hit that overnight tonight. I appreciate everybody for supporting the channel. Good night, Caden. See you tomorrow. I'm surprised you're still up, but then again, look at me. I'm a whole hour ahead of your time zone. It's almost 2:30 a.m. over here. near Great Bend. Let me see. That that's convection on the dry line, so that should be very clustered, extremely messy. It's right on top of the dry line. So it'll be some thunderstorms, maybe some isolated damaging winds, but nothing nothing like significant. Probably barely even severe. Next frame. Like I said, it looks very, very messy. Very, 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 very messy. Look at that. There's your dry line convecting in central Oklahoma. That might be the main event. That might be one of your big issues there. We're going to have probably three rounds. So you're going to have the prefrontals out here. Then you're going to have the first dry line convect here. Then you're going to have the main dry line convect here. So there should be at least three main rounds to our severe weather tomorrow. At least that's what I'm thinking. We got one more frame in us here on the HRRR. One more frame. Come on. You got this. One more frame. One more. I'm with you on that, Proxy. I feel like if it doesn't downtrend at all, we could easily get a high risk tomorrow. I've had a bad feeling about Monday the whole week. Just the trough being so perfect, it looks like, and so large, and you end up with a good amount of weak forcing. I didn't think today was going to be much. Yesterday, today's in May 18th. Yesterday, I said I highly doubt it's going to go moderate, and then we woke up to a small moderate, and then things started uptrending like ridiculous today. So, Caden, wait! I should have asked Almighty Caden what his prediction was. Lord have mercy, yeah. Yeah, that's a moderate risk right there. Yeah, that's definitely a moderate risk. Whoosh. That's definitely a moderate risk, man. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Oof, all the way up to northeast Nebraska. Look at that. Sucker goes into southeastern South Dakota. Wow. Yeah, Caden, what's your prediction for tomorrow? You think it'll be a rough day? I mean, today you predicted the moderate risk, and then you predicted the storm in Texas, and then you predicted the, something else. I'm starting to lose thoughts. Predict something, whether it be a risk upgrade, an area getting a risk upgrade, the actual moderate risk being upgraded to, the next category, or what. Tuesday, hard to say. What it looks like is things should grow upscale quite rapidly, but the first round, wherever that may be, will likely pose the threat for multiple strong tornadoes across southern Kentucky, a good chunk of central East Tennessee, as well as into northern Alabama and northeastern Mississippi. Lord have mercy, that's a volatile environment again. What the heck? Oh, nah, man. We can't be dealing with no Dixie Alley nocturnal tornadoes. Look at that. Oh, please, no. Wow, big difference between the model run between the NAM 3K and the HRRR. One has the HRRR very volatile environment. NAM 3K not even remotely close to as volatile. And that's because the NAM 3K has substantially less wind shear. That's going to be something to pay attention to. Which model run seems correct for wind shear? I know the name goes out till Saturday. Does it show? Oh, yep. Man, I don't know if I could chase Extreme East NC on Saturday. Especially with no wind shear again. Yeah. Doesn't look likely. Can't be chasing a no wind shear setup again, dude. Alright, Caden's prediction is if I was a chaser, I would go to Northwest Arkansas. That is where I would think the strongest tornado threat would be tomorrow. Northwest Arkansas. We'll see if he's right. We shall see. Oops. Alright, that's it for the HRRR. I appreciate you guys for hitting that subscribe button. 9,003. 9,603. We hit it. I appreciate you guys for hitting that subscribe button. We are now less than 400 away. We are closing in super, super fast. Super fast. Go ahead and change the title because we're about to end. So I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. I appreciate all you guys for being here. We're going to go ahead and conclude here in about 2 minutes. Remember, no outro music because this was an urgent live stream for that Supercell. At the time, it was south of Greensburg, Kansas. Then went on to eventually produce a near 2 mile wide wedge. Where was it exactly? I told you I'm blanking, man. I'm blanking. Near like Abbeville or so. Right around there. Still wouldn't fully rule out a tornado threat with one of these storms. Spin up tornado somewhere. I would not fully rule it out. So just stay weather aware if you're in the risk area tonight. Definitely could still see a spin up a brief tornado. It's not completely impossible. So I'll see you guys for another likely near 10-hour live stream tomorrow. Once again, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new with the notification bell set to all so you know when we go live tomorrow. It will likely be between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. Eastern time when we start up our live stream, and that will probably go through the entire day and into the night hours. So yeah, again, I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Thank you, mods, for mod chat and mods for being here for much of the streams over the last few days. I appreciate it. Not too sure if there's any mods left awake here. I'm pretty sure pretty much every last one of them are asleep as it's 2:30 a.m. here on the East Coast, 1:30 a.m. over there in the Central U.S. and in what, it's a Sunday? Yeah, so people got school tomorrow. So yeah, I will catch you guys in tomorrow's live stream. Again, no outro music, so I'm just going to end abruptly here in just a few seconds. Once again, if you are in the remainder of the risk area, which is mainly out in this region here, just stay weather aware. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Sunday night going on now into your Monday morning. Stay safe, watch for your weather, have a great rest of your night and into your morning. Good.